Oof, this is a big chair. I am in my son's room because Phil is watching football downstairs, and we got a new band room door, which is where he watches football, and the door is being painted and it's open, and that's not relevant. You are not here to hear about that, are you? This is my very first box ever from Sterling Ink. Any very first time having a paper product from them of any kind, any interaction with them whatsoever. This is my first time. And I just did a Hobonichi unboxing because 2024 was my first year with the Hobonichi, and I will probably reference this later. That's why I have my various notebooks. I also was a big TN user for a long time, mostly because I just love the leather covers. I love the separate notebooks for collections. This is just like a bunch I've collected over the years, so I brought that up too, just in case it comes up, because I have ideas, I have thoughts. And it's part of the process. I've also used Leuchtturm before. This is an A6. I really never used one before this year, though I have several of them, but I never used it very consistently. It was to replace the TN. I am also experimenting with the Weeks right now from Hobonichi and ordered one for 2025. So we have some things to discuss once I open this beauty and look at everything that is inside. From what I've seen online, they are beautiful with their packaging, beautiful with little gifts, and beautiful planners in general. So I'm excited to see this, to compare it to, especially the paper. I need like a good crispy paper, and I use the paper because of the paper. Honestly, I am not into this for the planning. I'm in it for the paper. I should put that out front. If you need to know, I'm in it for the paper. I just love interacting with paper. And I have a big struggle right now going on with what I'm going to do for work next year, because I've been using a Leuchtturm for years, but now that I know about Tomoe River paper, it's a whole new ball game, guys. We're going to get there too. Let me open this box for you. I have my tea in my elephant mug, and I wanted it to be pretty. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, sorry. One last tease. Check out the pattern on my dress. Isn't it awesome? It looks like hand painted. Okay, that's all. I'm ready now. Ta-da! Let's open this up. I did already open it to make sure that what I ordered was inside, but I did not open the book. I haven't cracked the spine. I just basically unwrapped this bubble wrap and said, yep, that is what I ordered. And that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to make sure, because I wasn't sure when I could go film this. So like I said, beautifully packaged. So you have bubble wrap on the bottom. So should there be any wetness on the bottom, it should be protected, along with this entirely bubble wrap. So it should be protected from any elements, no matter when you order it through the year or where your post person leaves it on your doorstep. I have heard some horrible stories lately, and it is heart-wrenching. I do not know what's in this envelope. I have tried to avoid watching full unboxings. I have an assumption that it's stickers because I have seen pictures posted online. As you can see, I have not opened it. What I did order, look at this embossed box. This is lovely. Like, this is a nice box. Oh, I wonder what that little window is for. Two little windows. Oh, I guess it's to show the color, right? And I got the white edging. You could also get a gold edging. I got white. I ordered the 2025 N2-H Compact Full Year Common Planner. The N2, I believe, is the size, and I believe it just stands for notebook size, kind of like a traveler's notebook size. This is assumptions. Please feel free to correct me. The 2, I'm assuming there's a second, this is a second version, because there is an N1. My assumption is that it's a little bigger. Again, assumptions. I got the compact, which means fewer pages in the back. So like the regular Hobonichi versus a Hobonichi Mega. This has more pages in the back. That I know for sure because I am looking at Sterling Ink for a work planner, but I really need horizontal for work. That's the things I have to do just require a long form writing, and I can't do it in a vertical notebook. But they only have the full version, not compact. What would you call it? There's a name for it, I believe, but they only have the full version, which means there's 300 plus pages at the back, and I simply do not take notes like that at work. So I could, if I made like a big goal of just a lot of extra learning with a lot of good notes, and maybe that is something I should do and think about, because I do want to learn more and as much as I can. And then full year is it's, the full year, so it's not a split year. And I tried to wash my son's desk off as well as good as possible, but I'm seeing things. It's okay. It's okay. You guys are not here for that. And Common Planner. I believe their Common Planner, I actually don't know. They might have other versions of planners. I believe I saw one that was academic. So perhaps this is just like a catch-all type of carry thing. So let's open this envelope. Let's see what's in this envelope. I'm warm in my son's room. I closed the window because our neighbor is mowing his lawn, and today's just not a quiet day, you guys. Oh, these are, I have seen people's spreads. This is pretty. That could be used as like some kind of ephemera in a planner. I don't believe it's a sticker. I think it's just a business card. They have ideas, so you can go, don't know where to start, scan here to get original hand-painted stickers to decorate pages. Love that. I love these types of stickers. Oh my gosh, I got a whole book of stickers like this from Temu, and they feel amazing. They're so lovely on the page. I can maybe show some in my bigger planner when I kind of tell you what my ideas are for this. So this says September collection freebie 2024. Ooh, I did see that they have subscription packs for stickers for each month. You can always get a new sticker. This is just a great looking box. It has like, it's textured with, herringbone is not the word, with like a striped texture, kind of like a khaki, which is amazing. I don't want to rip this box. I mean, geez. Oh, I had no idea it would come with this feels like a pencil board and a calendar with space to write. So a 2025 calendar. This is a great divider and vision. I love the scene. I love the scene. A nice little sandwich, some cakes and torts and pastries and coffee and cappuccino. Look at that. They worked in a planner. A chair, another wicker bottom chair, leaves on the ground. This is my scene, Go outside and work on your planner. This box is amazing. I mean, truly, this is very cool. I like this. I just really like this. How lovely. Good quality too, boy. I wonder what it costs them. I shouldn't think those things out loud, but I do. So I got the white tweed color. I really like it already just looking at it. I'm so curious what it feels like. And here it is, gold embossed on the back, Common Planner, designed by Sterling Ink. It does have 2025 N2-H on the side. Because of glare, I'll make sure I repeat those so you can see them as well. Ooh, nice and soft and flexible, even upon opening the bag. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, and it feels kind of slightly vinyl-y, slightly rubber vinyl. There's texture to it, So if I put it on the desk, there's not a lot of slip when you move it back and forth. This Mega Weeks, this is a sneakers. This is a smooth vinyl. This is a textured vinyl. So I can see where the tweed element comes, not just from the color, which is flecks of another, so there's like the black with the flecks of white. But, and here you can see the embossing. But also, just like there's grip, like on a phone case when you don't want it to slip from your hands, that's great. So like I said, we have the gold embossing on the front. On the side, it says 2025 N2-H. It is curious that they still put the style of book on the side, but actually, if you had this stored on a bookcase on the side and you're looking for a particular planner you knew you used for that year, you would know the style of the planner you used. So you may use an A5 for something else and an N2-H for another. And from the side, you're not going to be able to tell widthwise, from the spine, which book it is. So now it makes sense to me now that I've given it a moment's thought. Oh, this feels so nice. Oh, so my thoughts so far was that this is going to be my carry-all, but I know that there are sections in it that I might not use for that purpose. So I was like, maybe I should save it for something more focused. But I don't know. This feels nice. I will admit right here too, because it has come up. I did get a 2025 that I thought was going to be my carry-all, but I also bought 2 Kinbor Weeks styles. Well, there's the same style, but 2 different ones from AliExpress. Never ordered from there before either. And those, I got both of them for less than $15. So I'm going to have options. One of them has a bamboo pattern on it from Kinbor, and I'm going to give that to my son because I'm trying to show him the merits of writing everything down for school assignments. And I'll get to that when we talk more about what my needs will be. Or I can make what my needs will be a separate video if you just want to see this. So this is the open pages. There's nothing written here. I see a lot of people decorate this. Look at me. I'm nervous to break the spine. And yep, that's it. It is a nice thick cover. You can see the cut of it. It reminds me of a material used for wetsuits, but not as thick. That's nice. I think it must be a vinyl. It seems like a vinyl. It's very cool. So some people glue these pages together, I noticed. I'm not a big decorator on the insides, but I did just last add covers to my Hobonichi cousin, added stickers, I'm sorry, because I just saw so many people doing it, and I'm like, I really love my book getting fat, so I'm just going to add more to it to make it fat. And I just watched my Dandelion Diaries do a setup, and it looked so pretty in hers, so I can see the appeal. Here is the calendar that is also on the pencil board. People might maybe put maybe some tracker legends down here in case you're tracking various things. My concern, of course, is that 4 of those things will happen on one day. And how do you do that? So maybe not. Maybe some important dates or anniversaries, you know, if you're an anniversary remember person that you really need to know those things. Monday starts on all of them. And oh, look, I did not notice that on both. Can you see? I should really make sure. I'm very bad at this. On both, the number of the week in the year is next to it. So like the 39th week of September. I am very curious why people use that. If there's a reason you refer to the weeks as the number of week it is in the year, please let me know what that's about. I'm curious, and if it can help me or if I can utilize it in some way, I'm all for it. So tell me what you use that for, if anything. White paper. I noticed that. So the Hobonichi, let's see what their first pages are. It has the Hobonichi logo all throughout. And then it has the, here, we could do this. We can do it like this, right? Look, I'm inspired in the moment to just do it page by page. I hope you're okay with this. In case you're shopping, maybe this is helpful for you. Okay, so here is the N2-H Full Year Common Planner written at the bottom. Hobonichi Techo 2025 Weeks. This calendar is on also the back page, so you can sort of see the lines ghosting through where this is not, and look at the page color difference. We got cream versus white. And if you need to, here you go. I'm also trying to be better about showing things like this. Okay, so we are there. Look, I tried to set stuff up in the corners and the periphery of the edges because it always looks so nice when I see other people do it, but I am running out of space. So I'm just gonna go back to my practical ways, I think. Not that that is not practical for other people. They're gorgeous, and I probably will try to do it again. I just won't tell you about it, maybe. I've learned my lesson in any way. So for the calendar sections, the Hobonichi does have the 2025 on this year. It does not look like it highlights what number week of the year it is, whereas Sterling Ink does. So if that's something you do like to pay attention to, here it is. Perhaps too, if you had like, you know, these specific weeks are weeks that I got my period. You could just write week 45, week 76, you know, and do something like that. If you don't want to cross out all the lines, I can see that as a possible option. Maybe also it could be, you know, on week 34, I'm going on vacation. So you don't have to mark, you know, a very, very simple at a glance. You could categorize things here. Seems like there's a way to do that here, but you have to write every single date down. It does have last year and next year and the Hobonichi Weeks. So the next page is the full calendar index. But on the Sterling Ink, we have 2 plain grid pages. And it looks like the grid pages have slightly darker lines that go horizontal down the page. No, maybe it's not. That was an illusion. No, they are. You know what it is? They're not darker lines. The lines that have these little dots. So let's see, on both sides, there's a dot here, nothing above that. It's just here. So that must be a third of the way down and then another third. So this is broken up into 3 sections and another 3 sections over here, same faint dots. And then a dot at the middle bottom and a dot at the middle top. So if you wanted to, you could separate this into 6 boxes on each side. So 1 box for each month of the year. That's pretty cool too. So if you wanted to add any extra dates for each month, perhaps you could grid this out and it could be your birthday tracker or something. So that's pretty cool. Could be your, I don't know, like a sporting event tracker or anything for the month that you want to track. You could separate this into 12 boxes and use it that way. So that's pretty cool. This would be harder to work with in that sense, but it could be a simple tracker for steps. I have definitely seen people use it for steps. Up here, I don't know. I'm sure that there are things that we could come up with though. There might be like significant events that happen during the week. So you could put a star in the things, like I really have to remember these things, you know, put a star. I currently, in my cousin, use an orange marker on the days that I have exercised. So you could do that here too. Or one of my weeks, I'm definitely thinking I'm going to use it as a health planner. And I would use this as like the days I had migraines or significant things that I really want to make sure I'm on top of in case they get worse and I notice a pattern. So that's pretty cool. And this is not the same as what's in here because I'm seeing now that they have a tracker. We'll compare them in a moment. I'm going to look at this page. This is goal breakdown. Hobonichi does not have anything like a goal breakdown. And I have seen many people use this and utilize this. This is the section that makes me wonder if this is going to be an okay everyday carry. However, if you have seen any of my other videos, I'm sorry. Let me introduce myself in case you haven't. I'm Shirbai, also known as Kristen, but I grew up with the name Shirbai in my family, my birth family, and then later in life I was just Kristen. But I'm Shirbai from Shirbai Dabbles. That's as far as that explanation needs to go. I'm so chatty right now. I haven't talked to anybody all day, it seems. And this is Shirbai Dabbles, where I talk a lot about paper and creativity and using my planner. It's mostly my planner flip throughs, but I have hopes and dreams to also get and dive deeper into just being a creative person and loving paper and how we can find ways to use paper. That's really all I want to do is use the paper. So let's get back to the page, okay? I break rules a lot of times. So this doesn't necessarily have to be used in this way, but I love the idea of it because I wouldn't mind having a little more focus in some things. So this is a goal breakdown. This is blank where you would list your goal. And this is the someday, like the ultimate goal you would like to have. Someday I want to, I don't know, someday I would like to be a regular meditator, which is true. I want to wake up and feel like this is something I need to do for myself each day. I get pleasure out of it. It brings me joy. And I want to be that person. That's the kind of person I want to be. So in 1 year, where do I want to be when toward my ultimate goal? So in 1 year, I want, meditating 20 minutes a day to be a habit. I want it to be a habit in 1 year. Half a year, where do I want to be? I would be happy if I was meditating at least 4 days a week, halfway through the year. So what am I going to do about it quarterly? Quarterly, then I will, let's just make it easy on ourselves and make sure that we're meditating at least 5 minutes, 4 days a week, at least minimum, right? So monthly, how are we going to start doing that? Let's make sure that we're starting at least like maybe 2 minutes every day. Something like that. And weekly, 2 minutes every day. Maybe that's a daily. You get the point though. I should have maybe gone this way. I think actually making the goal would be easier for me that way, probably with this at the end. Anyway, neither here nor there. When I go to set it up and I'm finally using it, we will revisit all of these topics and we will see how many things I have changed and tossed to the wind and decided I wasn't going to do. So that's typically what happens. So here's the yearly tracker, and this is the yearly tracker. A couple thoughts upon first glance. This seems easier to look at to me, just easier to see and understand, especially because every day is 1, 2, 3, 4 to 31 and the days of the week. This one does clarify, it does the same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But why? What is it about this that looks more confusing to me? It might be the half lines. So this has half lines. So you actually have the opportunity for whatever you're tracking to track 2 things in 1 day. Whereas this one, you seem sort of limited to 1 unless you maybe drew a line down the middle. So that just the additional lines is what this seems to be. Now, technically, You could track 8 things because there are 8 grid boxes in each. Can you see that? There are 8 grid boxes in each day. So you could track 8 things on this page, and maybe you would need somewhere somehow to have a little legend for what you're tracking. They don't have any space here like this does to define what it might be that you're tracking. So this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines to record maybe initials or some kind of grid, or maybe writing sideways what your goal is. This, no, does not have that. So it'll be interesting to see how people use this when I start watching some of the videos. I'm very curious about this. But I do like that it offers more options by way of recording and writing. The space size is the same, but something about, I believe it's the same. I'm not going to pull out a ruler, so all you people that need that, I apologize in advance. But on a cursory glance, nope, the Hobonichi is slightly smaller, so they're not the same. I do like that this gives you extra, and I should have known that just because of the space. I mean, that's why there's no room up top, right? Because the Hobonichi is smaller. The grid lines are smaller. The lines in general are smaller, excuse me. The color is helpful. I know a lot of people don't like color, especially for those of you who really like to color coordinate things, and you know, when the same color pattern and scheme gives you peace of mind. So the sterling ink seems very amenable to that with its grayscale layout. I gotta say, I love the font. I mean, both the fonts are very clean, and Hobonichi's tends to be, looks as if it's a longer font, whereas the sterling ink font is shorter and compact. It's lovely. It really is. It feels like I'm gonna get it done, you know? This feels kind of loose and easy in comparison. I like both. I do. I like both. No, I like this. I'll have to consider how I'm going to use that. So after that, the Hobonichi goes right into the monthly. So we'll revisit when we get to that point in this. So this breaks things down by quarter 1 and what your priorities will be. I can see people definitely using this for, appointments, big things you definitely want to get done each month. And then I love the idea of the tracker, like some sort of tracker thing being right here. This is very similar to the Hobonichi cousin. So I'm going to pull out my cousin. This is the cousin. And a lot of you, well, some of you, I see that a lot of people who come to my channel have never been here before, but they are still returning viewers, so perhaps it still stands. A lot of you are familiar with this. Now, this is definitely wider. As you can see, I put like all the crap I have to do in here, but lately I've been just tracking my workouts with the orange marker, and then any big things that seem, you know, good to put in here, like migraine. I put like health planner on August 10th because back in my dailies on August 10th, I have some ideas for a health planner. This does have enough space where if you write small enough, you could probably write things like this, but you could also on the top or bottom write a goal or something that you want to track and exit out, or use the dot markers, or however you want to do that. So that's very cool. Or if your priorities are over here and you want to do something daily, you could actually just, you know, keep track of them on the same page to remind you what it is. I do like this. See, it does make me think that I have to, okay, so I'm a writer, and this might actually be really good for breaking down writing and working on a second book to a novel I had written. It's supposed to be a series. I wrote the first one in 3 months, like 13 years ago, and people still buy it and still read it. And some people still ask me when the second one's coming out, which I love enormously. I feel like I really should rewrite it and actually spend time on it, but because I just didn't spend time on it. And something like this, you know, if the big planners are like that, something like this would really help me focus on working on that at least a little bit every week, if not every day. So now I'm thinking, do I need that A5 horizontal weeks that is the full, you know, the full on 300 plus pages on the back, and just handwrite it and just get my shit done and just do what I want to do, because I really just want to start living the life I want to live. I don't want to work to live anymore. I want to I want to just start doing the thing I want to do. So this spread right here is where you saw it happen, guys, because if I can put in here on January, you know, just write this scene, you know, in a book, or just write these 3 scenes, and then the days that I worked on it, and maybe, you know, something to that effect. I can see really using this to that end. I could see if you were working on some self-discovery or self-growth, or really wanting to unleash something, this is a good place for that. So okay. No, I like that. I just made myself thirsty. I got thirsty. Man, that dark cocoa type of tea is something else. That is so good. All right. So it looks like they keep the quarters right next to each other, which kind of surprises me because I know that Sterling ink, I believe they scatter the months. So it's a month and then your week and then the month and then the weeks. I would have thought the quarter pages would have fallen around the same place, but perhaps they're like, you know, you can plan everything out now. So that's cool. That's cool. I can get with that. And quarter 4. All right. Planners, this is the thing about planners, isn't it? They make us feel inspired. They really do. They inspire us, and I can feel that just looking at this. So here are the monthlies. It starts on December, as does the Hobonichi. As you can see, the Hobonichi grid is a lot darker on cream, and this is just nice, and the numbers are dark, which is great. The fonts are similar, but they're definitely a little bit different. Like the serifs on the numbers, for instance, go straight across in this font, whereas in Hobonichi they're at an angle. So you can definitely see the differences. And the 6s, you know, and 9s are rounded, whereas these are just the angled point. So it's a nice font. It really is. I like the darkness up here of the days. This is gorgeous. I can see why people really like this Sterling ink. So both, no moon phases. I'm noticing that. But both have the current week written right next to the week. They do use 0-1 versus just 1. Hobonichi Weeks uses 0-1, sorry. Sterling ink uses just 1. So you get the full week. We do have a column down here, whereas in the Hobonichi, you have space at the bottom with check boxes. So if there's a whole window of space, they add 4 check boxes at the bottom. So this could be like major monthly tasks, and you can check them off. The weeks, I'm sorry, I gotta stop doing that. The N2 Sterling ink has just this column. Very good to keep in mind. And, oh, no, here we go. Maybe it was just that's how that month was built, that there wasn't space. So, yes, because we have it up here. But on this month, there is space at the bottom, no check boxes. So, scratch what I just said on the months where it's feasible. Now, what's interesting is these are both the same month, right? Fell in a Sunday. So, let's see. But the days are the same height. But they just decided to fill it in with the next month boxes. They definitely had the space to leave it blank the same way they left this blank. Or perhaps they just like to finish out their weeks throughout. We're going to find out. We're going to find out when I flip to February, because I'm noticing they fill their whole week to the end. No, wait a second. Yep, they finish the whole week to the end. Same here with the space in the bottom. February, they finish the week. I think that's what it was. It just happened to fall on this last space here, and so they just filled out the rest of the week. I think that they just like to fill out the week with extra boxes so that you can see them, have an idea. That kind of bugs me, to be honest, because then I feel like I'm writing the info in twice no matter what calendar I look at, and I'd rather the boxes weren't there. So, but I'm seeing that Hobonichi is doing it also. And I wish they wouldn't. I wish they did it all like this, where it just ended on the last day of that month, so I'm not rewriting things, because I just feel like I'm rewriting things sometimes, and I hate doing that. All right, so solved-ish. We don't know why. Maybe someday they'll tell us. Yeah, they definitely fill it across, where Hobonichi will, let's see March. Hobonichi will leave you that space. So it looks like the difference is in the Hobonichi design, they prioritize the space. If they can give you that space, they're going to give it to you. Otherwise, they're going to fill it out and you'll still have that space. Sterling ink, that space is optional. You could technically use this, but I can see a lot of people not liking that you're going to have the numbers there when previous pages don't have it. So sterling ink, you know, I'd be curious to know if you've ever gotten feedback about that and if people really care or not. So that's cool. Still cool. So the months are not scattered. So I guess only some of the sterling ink. Is it the sterling ink brand? Maybe it's not sterling ink. Maybe I'm thinking of Aura Estelle, because I looked into those as well. And they might have the scattered months, so that after 1 month, like January, you'd get your 4 weeks of January. Then you'd get a February monthly calendar and then your 4 weeks. So I think I confused it. So if hopefully I go back and edit and look at this and I put that correction at the front. So you get all of your months. And again, they just fill out the week until they get to a point where only one day, and they just fill it with a number. Okay. So that's good to know. Good to know, good to know, good to know. So let's see where it goes up to. It goes up to December. They do give you January, and then you go into your week. All right. Let's get to the same week in here. So they start at December 30th when you get to your weeks. The Hobonichi Weeks goes all the way up to March in the monthlies. So you get all the way up to March 2026. And then it starts in November, the end of November, and you get a whole month of December at the beginning here too. Now, if you have never used a week's format and you really want to get into it, you know, I can see how this is exciting to do. You're getting used to it for the new year, etc. But you're still going to want to get used to it even before you use it for the first time. So in some ways, these prior months, I don't know why they're there. But I'm sure some people love them. Some people probably just like to have extra decoration, maybe test out their washi, use them as swatches for their markers, etc. Some people might just like to do a little bit of, I want to refer back to these couple of months, so they might backfill it and put in the things that they might want to refer to later. I can see all the merits of that. Right away, I see that the Weeks uses the entire column when they're putting information here. So day of the week, Sunday, some kanji, and the moon phase with a quote at the bottom. Check out Sterling Ink here. They have just a little corner, so you can utilize the space right under the number. So that's great. When the month changes, they have the day of the week and the month change. So you know that now it's January. It's nice, it's simple, it's clean. We have some darker lines here. I see one dot in the middle if you want to split the page in half. No side dots on either side. The weeks will have this one darker solid line rather than dotted down the side. It looks like these are darker, but that's because it's printed on the back page when you put it against each other. But it's not. It's just the solid line on the following page. They do not have any dots around the edges to help you break on this blank side, but they do have them down the row, so you can do a nice straight line to break this in thirds. Of course, you have your yearly calendar, but there is none in the Sterling Ink, and you have your quotes. So that's good. I don't mind this extra space. I like that. A lot of people have a problem with the quotes. I don't notice them. Once I know they're not going to be something I look at, I don't look at them. Kind of like the piles of clothes on my couch. So, you know, we won't talk about it. So the weeks look really nice. I love the dark font. I love the bold. I love the, you know, it reminds me of that, this one reminds me of papyrus font, and I like the spaced out font that they use for the months, and it says week 4. It's written fully. This does also, so they do November, then they have, of course, the, I believe it's Japanese, and then the 48th week. So they do 48th week, first week, second week, 36th week, etc. This just says week 4, week 5, week 6. I do like the simplicity of this. And then I like that they notate that January, February at the top. How does this on the weeks? They don't note it. They just say it's January. it's January, bitches. And you're like, okay. But at the end, it's February. So they don't note that the week switch happens here. I have seen some flip throughs where people will just like use the whole box to note that this is a new month. And I like that because it makes it feel continuous as you flip, not each week as its own, you know, separate thing. It's not as compartmentalized, which I somehow have that in my head. So when we look at the sides too, we do have the darker gray boxes to notate each month. The Hobonichi does that as well. And this is cover. I picked this because I don't know. I've assumed that this was going to be in my bag, and it's rather stiff, which I'm sure is a great thing. I love this though. I like this bendability. This makes it feel like a book that you don't worry about. You're just like, no, this is just to plan my life. And you take it out and you just put your stuff in it, you know? This is one that makes me feel like you got to be a little more careful, but also not. I can also see how this can just feel like it's not going to rip, you know? You dig around your purse with your eyes closed and you're going to find it. I like both. I don't like that this leaves prints on it. It's that kind of makes me feel yuck. There's a stamp for Hobonichi in the back, by the way. Pretty petals. I did go in more depth with the cover and everything in my unboxing from them. All right, so here are the weeks. Now let's get to the back, because I'm assuming all of these are going to be the same. And this ends, look, that bold. That bold is just fabulous. Okay. So it ends in the first week of January. Let's check this one out. Oh, geez. I was like, wait a minute, really? And this ends on the last week of December. So they give you a lot of extra at the front, no extra at the back. So it ends the very same. Okay. So that's good to know. So now let's see what's happening. Turn the page. We got blank pages, and down here we have a number 1. So immediately you start in. So this could be an index page. You could cut it in half, split it in half with a line. Don't cut it. But there is a dot at the top and a dot at the bottom to align. And then you could have an index on each side. Again, you have the dots in thirds to break it into thirds or even into 12s. 12ths, yes. 6s, 12s, 9s. Have I been counting this wrong the whole time? 6s. 6s. And every page seems to have those dots, and the numbers are right down in that first and last square up the bottom of the page. Really nice. Let's check out layability. All right, so let's see. Let's just pick randomly toward the back. So they are brand new. I have not broken spines. So they flop up. That's to be expected. I expect that over time they will lay very flat. The paper they feel very similar. You can't know until, wait a sec. Oh, they feel very similar. You can see the string binding in here. That looks like nice. The Hobonichi, I have never been able to spot it except in my cousin because it started splitting, and it's a kind of binding I haven't seen. This Mega Weeks, very thin line of cream colored paper to show the binding. So this has 119 blank pages, not including the 120th at the start that is not numbered. Whereas this week's has 73 blank pages. So you get about 30 plus more pages in the sterling ink. And then at the back, it just goes to their closing end paper and a hard cardstock page. A lot of people I've seen glue that together. Again, sorry, this is the end paper. No, this is the end paper too, so I'm not wrong. But this is, yes, your closing, the credits. This is the credits to your planner. And then it closes again on this lovely texture page. Now, when you're in the weeks, you know, you have some fun things. You have like a little ruler thing that you can use here, you know, in a pinch. I am a knitter, so that would actually come in very handy if I'm out. A quick way to keep some measurements so that, you know, if you have to measure more things, you have that available to you. Favorites, this could be friends, restaurants, it could be music you want to look up, it could be books that you read, etc. You could list your favorites here. I love the My 100 list in my cousin. This is a little small for what I use it for, but I could always write tinier. But I absolutely love it for, I use it to list movies and books that I have read and shows I have watched. I write down who I watch them with. It's really fun to fill out. I love this icon page. I did already use some of the icons in my cousin. I use the TV one. I haven't used any of the others, but I love them because they're simple and you could easily draw these yourself and then perfect them or make them your style as you go along, and you get better and better at them. They're fabulous. I think they're great. Then we have some recipes. I love soba. And actually, it's not recipes. This is more about, know your noodle. Know your noodle. And you will never be embarrassed again if you don't already know your noodles. I love the 365 checkoff. I got an Avec for next year because my cousin's getting big, and I kind of regret getting the Avec. I really love the heft of my cousin. I love the 365 in the back. I might have to make my own, but I track workouts and stuff in there as well. Here you can keep important addresses. Nothing's worse than something happening to you and nobody can get into your phone to get to your loved ones, so you could have it in your planner. And then it looks like we just have some reference material, end paper, a stamp. I like that. They like, you are special. You are 8 million people special. So that's cool. So this is the back of each book. I really, really like these. I love this. I think it feels great. And I think that while I'm here, I think I'm going to stop this video and upload this for people who really want to see an in-depth look into this. And then I think I might actually, let me see the time. I might just film another video about how I think I want to, the way I think I'm going to use my weeks. No, I'm going to do that later. I'm not going to do it today. I'm going to pace myself. Because I am going to get those Kinbor weeks and I want to lay out some other plans. So since I'm not going to do it full on, let me just show you some of my plans. Again, how pretty is this? I kind of want to keep this in the box. I want to start writing in it right away, but I really want to make sure I am, oh, look at it. It just, oh, it goes in so nice. I just want to make sure that I am making the right call on what I want to do. I love these stickers. I want to see your Sterling ink videos or pictures. If you have some, or you have a channel and this has been your bad boy for years, or you just started it and you love it and you're going back, I want to hear from you guys about what you think. I want to see how this cover holds up with no cover on it. I'm not a fan of covers. I had a leather one on this and I loved it. I loved how it looked, but eventually this was too big to keep lugging around that cover with it, and so I eventually took it off. Now I loved the Midori notebook because I love this leather cover, but that made sense because the notebooks were already so naked. When something is built like this, and I think it was well thought, I think that the creators of the Sterling ink really kept in mind people who are going to just throw this in their bag and use it for everyday bullshit so that they can feel calm in their lives. Some people I know, like, they're just shoving tissue napkins in here with notes on them, I think that they thought of those people, I think, and also still beautiful. So I want to see how these age, and I want to know your thoughts because I also love covers. Like I said, I watched a great video, setup video for her health planner of the Dandelion Diaries. And she just reached 10,000 subscribers. Can you believe it? If you feel so inspired to help people like that, subscribe to me too. But she got just the black one. They have like a just plain black cover, and she decorated it, and she has this great sparkly sticker that she always uses on her planners. And she did it, and I was like, oh boy, aren't those stickers going to come off, But I mean, I don't carry this in a purse, so they're not coming off. Although this one, you can see it's faded because I do carry this in my purse. Anyway, she puts a clear cover on top after she does that, and I can definitely see the merits in that. However, getting a cover like this, I'm not putting a sticker on this because it's so cool. I love how it feels. If I thought that my son were in a place where he could make goals he's very concerned about his handwriting. He looked at how I was keeping track of his school stuff in the weeks. He asked me to be on his feet a little bit more, or be, I just saw the word feet in here. He asked me to be on him a little bit more during the school year because he wants to just be held more accountable. I've been writing out his homework assignments for him because even though there are apps for it, the teachers don't always have the time to upload and keep it updated. And this, he needs to see a list like this. He said just today, see, I wish it was laid out like this. I want him to learn to have a planner at school so he can write it out himself. But he already said to me, my handwriting is so bad, I can't do that. I don't know where he got this idea from, you guys, because I mean, look at this. Like, look at some of my notes in here. It's just crap, you know? It's not pretty. So he didn't get that from me. I just want to say that is not my fault, you guys. Here's some of my notebooks from my traveler's notebook. I mean, look at this. This is not pretty. I am not doing like great things in here. I'm just writing, and this is like utilitarian to me. I just want to track my shit, you know? And I think the Sterling ink is such a great option for people to, this was the only time I used a calendar in there too. Not pretty, like not gorgeous stuff. I should show him this because I really think that if you have a kiddo who really wants to prioritize academics in school, this is the kind of notebook that would be really good for them, I think. It would be sturdy. My son loves aesthetically pleasing things. He loves the simple kind of minimalist look. This is gorgeous. It's sticky. It can be very masculine, you know, and it can also, it's very feminine. It's very clean. It's lovely. I think that this could be a great idea for anybody who wants to feel like they are just going to accomplish something. This is a lovely design. This is a stellar work on the Sterling ink Common Planner people. I believe that one of the creators is named Christine. All of the things I've looked around, but kudos. I mean, this is lovely. It really, really is lovely. So I'm excited to figure out how to use it. I might have to go back and get a bigger one. I'm going to play with this idea of using one to write because I am feeling the push to do what really speaks to my soul now. And I do credit starting a cousin this year to that because my cousin has unleashed more of my creativity and I haven't felt it in a long time. And I have been just so pleased to open that up, you know? And at the same time, I am, and this is not journaling. Some of this is like just writing prompts. And I credit you and the planner community and everybody out there who posts their stuff for bringing that back to me. I mean, it matters, you know, and isn't it going to be crazy if planners is what brings me back to wanting to write books and wanting to really do it. I mean, I wrote that book, N2-H, when I was nursing my son in the middle of the night. And I did it in 3 months and I put it out there because I was like, I may not ever be able to do it again. And I think that maybe 2025 will be the year. If you're a knitter and you like witches and you want to read a book about witches who knit, N2-H by Kristen Roberts. It's on Amazon. And you heard it here first. I wrote it myself. I published it myself. I wrote it quick, but it is a fun story with really adorable characters. And maybe I just talked myself into it, huh? Maybe I just talked myself into it because I can't find a horizontal planner. Those 300 pages in the back, if I just did a page a day that goes toward that, that's doable, right? And I mean, this would still be my fun. I just want to play with paper and my cousin can still be my fun. A fun thing, I started doing the first lines of all the books I've read. I thought that was cool. Yeah, and I'm gonna leave you with a little message I wrote in here the other day. And then I'll go because I know some people, like my son, they're out there and they're just afraid to start and they're afraid of ruining a page and making it not nice. I went through these pages with random stickers and then I went back and tried to make them look cohesive with all my other stickers. I did it like a month later. This is a message, and I'm going to give it to you. You don't always have to have something good or important or meaningful to say to write on a page and use space. You just need a way to get it there, and a pen usually works just fine. And it doesn't matter what it is. So for instance, I don't like how that looks. There, I said it, and I used a whole page to say it. That's it. You know, like, I don't like this mix of things. It doesn't look nice. And I just wanted to use my paper. And so I wrote something on it, and I got to use my paper. It does not have to be amazing. So I believe in you guys, big poop head mom. And I am excited for our planner life together. I'm excited to keep doing things, and thank you to anybody out there who puts the effort and work into making planning a pleasurable process. That was a lot of alliteration, and I kind of like it. So all that to say that while they put that amount of work in there, I don't believe that they're doing it because they want you to make it pretty. I think they just want it to make you feel good. So however that comes out for you, do it. Don't wait until it's all nice and matching, although those are also beautiful and you can practice. So your first half can be practice and your second half can be exactly what you want. The whole point is it doesn't have to be if you don't want it to be. Whatever you do is just as pretty and good if it makes you happy to do it. So just do it. Just do it, okay? I'm going to be back with weeks, plans, and ideas with the Kinbor versions, and I might have to make another order to Sterling Ink because I'm liking this idea. I'm really liking this idea, you guys. And if I get the B6 version, then it's even shorter pages, and I won't be stressed, even though the A5 really is not that, to me, it's not that big. When I first started writing in these cousin pages, I mean, it was small writing, you know, like it's small, but I didn't mind that either. So yeah, I think I've talked at you enough, right? I just wanted to show you this, but look what happened. All right, my friends, subscribe, leave me comments, tell me your thoughts, tell me your ideas, tell me how you use it, show me pictures, send me links. I want to hear it all. I want to hear from you. What's your favorite paper? I just love this paper. I love feeling the other side of it after my pen has been on it. I'm a fool. I'm a nerd. I'm happy to be here. Peace out, you guys. Thank you. Bye.